Hello and welcome to the faculty, administration, the Board of Education, and most importantly, to the class of 2014 and their families. I would like to extend my gratitude to every person who has helped our class to thrive in high school. It has not been an easy journey, but somehow we have all made it to this day, and we could not be more grateful to our parents and dedicated teachers. As a class, we have been together for at least 7 years, some of us since preschool. We are all very driven, hardworking people, and we push each other to succeed, whether we are building musical instruments, cooking pizza, or flying planes. For years now, we have based our personal success upon each other, sometimes judging ourselves too harshly. We have always defined success in high school as making the grade and then moving on to the real world, whether that means college, work, or something entirely different. For all of us, success in these terms has been achieved. But are we missing anything here? What about all the times that we have failed? All the times when we studied late into the night and it just was not good enough? Or the times when we are so close to getting what we had worked so hard for and it just did not come? Without those times, our success would be irrelevant and immeasurable. Success is an extremely vague term. It can mean happiness and it can mark a milestone, but it is also indicative of failure. Sure, there have been times where we have succeeded at the first try. Times where we have turned away from failure in favor of perfection. For the most part, failure is more important than success. It is the only way for us to learn and grow. In a world where Charles Darwin was considered an average student, where Walt Disney was once fired for a lack of imagination, and where the first Dr. Seuss book was rejected 27 times, it is clear that everything is a matter of perception. Nothing is ever perfect, and if it appears to be so, it is only suggestive of more infinite imperfection. We have all heard and believe that practice makes perfect, but that is simply not true. No human has ever been perfect. The universe is inherently imperfect, so how can we expect perfection from ourselves? The most successful people in the world cannot claim perfection because they have achieved their success in lieu of numerous failures. There are people who tell us that failure is not an option, but in reality, I would say that it is the only option, for it is the only means by which to achieve success. We have to stop expecting ourselves to be perfect people, flawless machines that jump from task to task without a hitch. Life is surely more than just a string of milestones. We should stop and just appreciate all that is imperfect, all of our tiny failures that are themselves huge successes. Robert F. Kennedy once said that only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. So, whatever you do later in life, do not be afraid to push yourself to your limit, to jump and never look back. In the end, if you fall and find yourself looking up, you still had the courage to jump, to reach out ahead. If we live our lives from marker to marker, if we walk a straight line up to success without ever failing, then will we be happy? Will we know that we have succeeded? We all wish that we could just fast forward through the rough patches, the sadness, the hard work, and the failure. But those parts are the only ones that give any measure to our happiness. Those are the ones that force us to stop and just live. For most of us, success has always been this one tiny little dot in the distance that we expect to achieve in years, maybe even in decades. We go through life checking off boxes and willing ourselves to make it to the next checkpoint. There is nothing wrong with being driven in this manner, but what if we never make it to that dot? What if success is really just each and every moment that we live? Success could be right now, right at this very moment. With our busy lives, especially over the past 4 years, there have been times where we have forgotten to pause, to appreciate all that we have accomplished, all of our successes and failures. We are constantly consumed with thoughts of the future and with worries from the past, regrets, hopes, and fears. We all plan on achieving greatness, on being somebody one day, maybe in 10 years or so. But we forget to appreciate the present, where we are in our lives at this very moment. We all believe that we will only be successful in the future when we finally know who it is that we are always meant to be. We are harsh with ourselves when we fail, thinking that our success has been jeopardized. But if we forget about success, just for a second, will it matter if we do not live up to our own standards? If we stop classifying failure as wrong, as a judgment on our personal intelligence or strength, we may just find ourselves succeeding.